Hey everybody, it's Les Patterson here. It's day 4 of the Push-Up 22 challenge. I'm doing things a little bit different today. It's Sunday, so I'm going to take the day off from push-ups, but I'm still would like to share a few thoughts with you about suicide. Yesterday I posed a question to you: how will someone who dies by suicide be remembered? When I wrote about this through the Monday Morning Boost at the time that Shane passed away, I had many people respond and share some of their thoughts. I'm going to share just a couple of those with you, and then I'm going to share how I've chosen to remember my brother Shane. One person, a friend of mine, summed it up this way: when people die, they are usually remembered for the good things they have done and the positive impact they have made. I feel this is the same way when suicide has been the cause. When suicide is the cause, usually there is some sort of depression or mental issue that was the leading factor that helps explain for the reasoning of the suicide. Even though their time was cut short, they are terribly missed and remembered for the good they have done. I agree with that. I think you look at the totality of somebody's life, not just a single act, especially not just what, in this case with suicide, is their final act. As I'm reading some notes from the things that I wrote back at that time period, a very close friend of Shane's wrote about, and I'll post this so you can read it more in detail, but he explained about a time where Shane reached out and rescued him. When this close friend of Shane's was at a point in his life where deep, dark depression had set in, thoughts of suicide were very active in his mind, and Shane became the rescuer. And when this person told me about this situation, I realized that's how I knew Shane. Shane was a rescuer. His professional life, he was a mechanic, and he loved being a road mechanic, where he'd be the on-call and go out and fix vehicles out on the road that had broken down. He worked a lot with trucking companies, and he worked a lot with people in their RVs, people that were traveling through the Sevier County area, and they break down on I-70, headed to the national parks or driving across country and break down. They put in a call, and Shane would be the one that would come out and take care of them. I remember one particularly that Shane had helped. They broke down. They were a young family, a couple young kids. They were moving to California, had all their worldly possessions in their car, and they broke down, and they had barely enough money, to try to pay for gas to get the way to, get the rest of the way to California. Transmission was gone. Shane went to work. Calling in favors, talking to friends. He got them put up at a hotel at no charge to them, got some food for them. He worked with some area churches and some other resources, and was able to get a transmission for this family, and was able to get meals and lodging, and actually able to get some money for them to continue on their journey. Shane was a rescuer in many ways. Told you about his friend he reached out, the travelers on the road, the way he took care of his family. Shane was a rescuer. Lots of other things that Shane could be remembered for. Shane struggled as a young man with depression, struggled with addiction. Shane spent several years in prison. Shane struggled with his sexual identity. Those are all aspects of his life, and yes, those will be things that he'll be remembered for. So as we think about this, think about those that you may know. If you know some people that have lost their life to suicide, how do you choose to remember them? I challenge you to look at the totality of their life rather than just their final act. That's my thoughts for today. I hope you enjoy reading, and I hope I shared some thoughts that give you something to think about. So thanks for letting me share.